Selling gold to buy Bitcoin. I'm hearing it all over my timeline, my feeds, etc. So many people are saying, I'm getting out of my gold positions. I'm now getting straight into Bitcoin, and now it's, Bitcoin to the moon, etc. Gold is way overvalued. The top is in, etc. Let's take a look at that. Are they absolutely crazy to do that, or is there something warranting it? And I'm also going to give you my humble, wise opinion. I think I am Joe Main. This is Good Morning Stackers. This is the gold price on the linear scale. Okay, 4,250 US dollars. Of course, it's been up a lot since it broke through that accumulation range back in April of 2023. The last couple of years shot up from $2,000 something to nearly $5,000. Okay, so that's the price. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price. Well, this is on the same time scale. It's the quarterly time frame, and it's been up, well, let's see, since April, roughly. That's 2023 as well, so April-ish kind of area. Yeah, there is April right there, roughly. That's also up a lot too. So why are they talking about this flip from gold into Bitcoin? Well, also you need to take a look at the ratios. And if you're not doing that, you might be missing something. So we're going to take a look at the gold to Bitcoin ratio. We'll use the logarithmic chart, and then we'll flip it and take a look at the Bitcoin to gold ratio. Now let me go back. I'll start with the gold to Bitcoin ratio. But I'll actually start with something I think which is quite wise, and you do you, and let me know in the comments what you think. I think everybody should own gold. I also think everyone should own Bitcoin together at the same time as an insurance policy and a small percentage of your portfolio. So 10% of your portfolio, in my opinion, should be in gold and in Bitcoin, half, something like that. If you have $10,000 to spend, put $1,000 or $500 in each gold and Bitcoin. If you have 100,000, do the same thing. That's my opinion. Why? I believe gold's been money for thousands of years. It has been a great insurance policy over longer periods of time. I believe Bitcoin is stepping into that as well. And it's just a good idea to have some Bitcoin because, we don't know where the prices are going to go 100%. What if Bitcoin does go to, $500,000, $1 million in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, etc.? You don't want to be out of the Bitcoin game entirely. You don't want to be out of the gold game entirely. So have your insurance policy. Okay, so that's the first answer. But for those who are thinking, all right, I'm just piling into Bitcoin now, well, let's just step back and see where we are. This is the gold to Bitcoin ratio. Okay, so let me pop on some indicators. This is on the quarterly time frame. And if you want to stay updated with this, hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube to join me, and I'll keep you updated. It's looking a little bottomy out, is the technical term. Anything can happen, of course, but just take a look at this. As this number is going down, gold is massively, and you can see, of course, creation of Bitcoin in 2009, technically, but this is the chart from 2011, massively underperformed Bitcoin. I mean, it would way better to be in Bitcoin since 2011 until around about nowish. Again, look, ratio number go up, ratio number go down over time, but yeah, you are winning life with Bitcoin, okay? Little bit interesting point where we are right now from a technical perspective. Let me pop on some indicators here. You'll see it better with probably with the weekly and the daily time frame. So in particular here, this quarterly chart doesn't show you the indicators as well, but look at this. Since, let's see, January of 2021, the gold to Bitcoin ratio has been flattening out. Okay, that's the first sign. You're going, oh, okay. Now, this can be a good thing. This can just mean that Bitcoin is becoming so much more adopted, okay, that its price now is just fluctuating less and less. So less volatility. That's good for you in the longer term, okay, as a store of value for Bitcoin, which I believe it is over the longer term. But yeah, we're kind of just flattening out here. Now, we're not out of the woods in terms of, or I mean, I should say, we're not 100% saying that gold is going to outperform Bitcoin in the next number of years, but you just got to take note here. And as I said, you must own some Bitcoin for sure. Let me pop on the monthly time frame and see what we can see a little bit better. You can see it has, yeah, definitely looking pretty bottomy. Okay. What you'll also notice, not so much on the volume, but I'll pump into the weekly and the daily in a second and you'll see that. But on the monthly time frame, you can see here we've got some divergence. And what that means is the price action, now this is a ratio, and the momentum indicators or the indicators are doing something slightly different, okay? So this is flattening out here, but you have a rise in the relative strength index. So there's a little bit of divergence going on, and that's this is bullish divergence, okay? So the price is kind of bottoming out, but the momentum is rising. Now the volume down here hasn't been going with it, so you're like, okay, just watch out for that on the longer term. Maybe not, maybe just not there yet, okay? If we had seen the following, something like that, where the volume was also going up while the price action was sort of flattening out, and then I'd say, oh, that's even more case to say that gold will, outperform Bitcoin. So we're not there yet on the volume. Let's pop into the weekly and see where we are. But you can definitely see we're now in this range here. Okay, let me get rid of that for you. And you can see this support zone and this resistance zone. We're right at the top end of the resistance zone right now. So this is actually why I think many people might be seeing, you might see a little bit of, Bitcoin outperforming gold for a little bit. And I think all these people on X and Facebook who are saying, I'm just piling out of my gold, it's done, it's Bitcoin now. It's probably because we're at the top end right here. And I think they could be right for a couple of weeks, a few weeks, maybe even a month or two, okay? So watch out for around about here at a key resistance range. But let me talk about that support. As I was before, you have what is called a liquidity grab. Okay, now this is a ratio number, but it works in a similar way. Okay, you've had a bottom here, you've had massive support here again, then you had that massive run. Gold massively outperformed Bitcoin, then it came back down. Bitcoin just sailing through, right? Just doing really well. Then you broke this support right here. Now, what did it do? You break support for one of two reasons. You do it to either continue the trend or to fake people out and then continue then to reverse again. Well, it certainly did that. Okay, so it reversed. It came back up to, it reversed and it came back up to previous resistance. So that was support. Okay, broke through, acted as, definitely resistance again, and then support here. Didn't break it. Now it's acted as resistance. Then what did it do? It came back. You would expect it to go back down there. No, it found support. Okay. It's quite bullish for gold at this stage. It's quite bullish for gold versus Bitcoin, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Okay. We would need to see it start creeping above here and start making higher highs on the weekly time frame. We haven't done that yet. So you can see a rejection here for sure. And I'm actually assuming you may do for the next week or so, possibly, and just a rejected roundabout here, and then you'll start hearing the lovely and my wonderful crypto community. I'm in crypto. I've been in crypto since 2013. Okay, so I love crypto, but you will start seeing probably, I was correct. Look, Bitcoin was the place to be. Maybe that's because gold's having a bit of a dip. We were right. Just be careful with that, my wonderful Bitcoin bros versus gold, because we're at key area here. If that gets broken through, you're then making higher highs on the weekly time frame. That would be a very, very bullish case for gold to continue to outperform Bitcoin over the longer term. Okay, you break that 0.04 on this ratio. Okay, just watch out. Now, let me be clear. Again, you should own gold, you should own Bitcoin, and don't forget, this is a ratio number, so that means both prices could be going down. It's just that one is going down further than the other, or one is holding up better than the other. Okay, so bear that in mind. You could be in a kind of a market crash situation where global financial collapse or whatever it is, everything's having a dip. Okay, it's just that one's dipping further than the other. Could that be gold? Could that be Bitcoin? Don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Or on the opposite direction, we could be in a market melt up. Gold's rocketing, Bitcoin's also rocketing, but it's just one's doing better than the other. So that's why I say, again, own some Bitcoin, own some gold, but just take a note of this ratio, okay? If you fall back through here, I will say Bitcoin has won the day. So fall back through here, and then if that acts as resistance, okay, then you're looking really good. Bitcoin bros absolutely had it right. And if you do this, I would say they haven't had it right. But they might still, again, as I said, be appreciating in price value. It's just the gold bugs are doing better than you. Okay. but you're just in this range and it has yet to confirm either way. So the short answer is I don't know. Are they crazy to sell out of their gold positions to get into Bitcoin? Well, I think it's crazy to sell out of all of the gold positions. If you're just selling out of half or a bunch of it to try your luck with Bitcoin because you think it will outperform gold, sure. But I cannot say 100% yet that that's going to occur. And I lean more towards, at this stage, gold to break out. I think we do that rather than doing that. That's my opinion on that. But I've been in precious metals since 2010. That's just my opinion. That's gold to Bitcoin ratio. Let's flip the script now and take a look at the Bitcoin to gold ratio. Exact same thing, but flipped around. So does this chart, let me go back. Does this chart look bullish or bearish? Let me have a look. Is it in the beginnings of a bull market? So does it look like it's bottomed here, or does it look like it's topped? Well, it certainly doesn't look like it's topped. It might be looking like it's forming a nice little bottom there. Okay, now let's flip the script. Does this look like it's topping out? There's a potential. Okay, let me pop on some stuff here. Let me show you some indicators. Let me get rid of that. So it's not all cut and dried here. Okay, I'm not saying 100%. You can't. The people I think just calling to absolutely pile into Bitcoin from gold, I don't think you have it right just yet. Okay, so as this number is going up, Bitcoin's outperforming gold. As this is going down, Bitcoin's underperforming gold. Okay, you're at a pretty key area here, and you've broken on the. Whoa, you're right there. Okay, you're just right there. Let's see. This could be bottoming here. Okay, you could do this right there, and then that could, do that. Sure, absolutely. I just do lean to possibly heading down further. Okay, so again, not necessarily certain one way or the other. I do lean towards the gold, and maybe that's just my bias. Okay, I love crypto, I love Bitcoin, etc. I own it myself, but it does look a little toppy. When I look at the indicators as well, what you can see is a loss of momentum. Going back to the peak of 2017 back in Bitcoin, and this is versus gold, you have Bitcoin massively outperforming gold, but what do you notice with the relative strength index? You've got lower highs, okay, higher high, lower high. Then you have that massive underperformingness versus Bitcoin. And what have we done? Again, it came back, but it didn't come back with a whole bunch of strength, okay? And what do we also notice is the momentum has also been going down as well, a loss of momentum too. What could happen from here? Look, this could be an expanded consolidation, okay, where you could do something like the following. So this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on an Elliott wave style thing. You could have an A, B, C correction, so maybe just bottoming out, and then, hey, it could go on its merry way, okay? But what I don't want to see, well, I should put it this way. If you're a Bitcoin holder and you want to massively outperform gold, what you don't want to see is the following. You don't want to see that broken through and found as resistance. Okay, this is on a what's that? 494 million, something like that. Again, on that ratio kind of number. Okay, you start doing that, rejected there. Okay, not good for your Bitcoin versus gold holdings. Again, Bitcoin could be going to $200,000. It's just that gold might be going to $10,000. Like, it just might be increasing more. But on the Bitcoin to gold ratio, yeah, I can see. Look at that. I can see within the next weekly time frame, on the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, something like that. Yeah, Bitcoin outperforming gold. And again, I can imagine the Bitcoin people going, ha ha, I was right. You just want to watch out for a rejection around about at your 577, 575 million on this ratio. Okay, watch out for there. And if you do something like that down there, okay, gold will probably continue to outperform Bitcoin. So that's just my humble opinion. Short answer is buy gold in your insurance policy, buy Bitcoin in your insurance policy. It's undecided yet. Are they crazy? I don't think they should be as rah as they are. I understand, the internet, you got to be, take positions, etc. I just wouldn't be so gung-ho for Bitcoin to massively outperform gold just yet. All right, it can have this little bounce, but just be aware. Okay, and when I flip the script and go back to the gold versus Bitcoin ratio, it's looking, when I look at it as a chart, like if I was charting this and it's just another asset, pick a stock, pick whatever, I'd be going, oh, okay, well, bottom here, it made a play for it. That's your liquidity grab, came up to resistance, found exact support. Now we're back up a resistance here. Geez, it's looking more likely that number go up than number go down. Okay, so I'll stay roughly on the fence. I am leaning towards gold outperforming Bitcoin, at least for a little bit. Can't say until we do that kind of thing. We break there, make a higher high in the weekly, then I'll say for sure. But I want to know what you think in the comments. Are you one of those people who just sold a bunch of your gold positions for Bitcoin? Let me know in the comments. Give me your reasons why. We can have a nice, healthy conversation with it, and you can talk it amongst each other in the comments. Or you're like, no, I'm holding strong on my gold, and you just see it, massively outperforming Bitcoin. Have it out in the comments. I want to know what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched Good Morning Stackers. I go live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays as well, on all the pre-recorded content where I talk about precious metals, I talk about stocks, I talk about crypto too. Anything that is investable, I talk about it. We talk about overvalued versus undervalued assets and trying to increase your wealth for yourself and your family. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you soon.